Hey there, this is Celestial Piper, Soldier of the Watch. If you like this video and want to show me some love, go ahead and click on that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel and you would like to, click on subscribe and then make sure you click on the little bell. That way you're notified of new videos. All right, enjoy this video. So this video is part 2 of probably a huge series of videos in regards to this topic. So if you haven't seen part 1, that one is called Has the Bible Been Manipulated? Who are the gods of the Old Testament? So look that one up first. Hopefully I'll be able to link that at the end of this video so you can see it. It's the connection with Yahweh and the Elohim. I think that although he is connected possibly to metallurgy, storms, and volcano, meaning Mount Sinai being possibly a volcano at one time, he is also an actual entity that maybe taught metallurgy. So think of the fallen ones. Other composite names are Rakibel, spelling up above because I don't know if I'm saying it right, and he would be the charioteer of El, or Malak Bel, messengers of Bel, which represents subordinates to the great gods. Interesting to know, Marduk was later known as Bel. Marduk is one of the Anunnaki, which we will get into a little bit more detail later. It's a name derived from the Semitic word, get this, Baal, that's B-A-A-L, or Lord. He had all the attributes of Marduk, and his status and cult were much the same. He, however, gradually came to be thought of as the god of order and destiny. So just keep that in mind. So Yahweh means God sent or Lord. Now the Gnostics, they believe that Yahweh is equivalent to Satan, which means adversary, also known as the demiurge. In the book of Isaiah, the Jewish deity declares, I am God, and there is no other. That's in Isaiah 46, verse 9. In Gnostic sources, this declaration becomes the mantra of the foolish creator, Yaldabaoth. So, I see him connected to the Elohim. I would say it's safe to say that Yahweh is Elohim because in the Hebrew text, he is referred to as Yahweh Elohim, not simply Yahweh. This is why it's important to look at the translations, because in a normal translation that you would probably typically read, whether it's an NIV version, an NLT, King James, whatever it is, they have different phrasing, but you really need to go back and look what the actual text said from original translation. So in Deuteronomy 5 verses 6 to 21, it says, I am Yahweh your Elohim. Now a lot of texts will say, I am the Lord your God. But all throughout this, if you read it, it says Yahweh your Elohim. Important to note that. Also, Yahweh, the demiurge, which is what the Gnostics see him as, is a lesser god who wants to be the only one. The Apocryphon of John states he is impious in his madness, she who dwells in him. For he said, I am God, and no other God exists except me, since he is ignorant of the place from which his strength had come. Yahweh was genocidal. The Lord guides his people to the promised land, but that land isn't free. People already live there in various towns. Therefore, the Lord commands his people to mercilessly slaughter all of them. In nearly all cases, not even a child, a woman, or an old man is spared, but they should completely all be killed so that his people can live in great and goodly cities which thou builtest not, and houses full of all good things which thou fillest not, and well digged which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest not, and when thou shalt have eaten and be full. Deuteronomy 6, verses 10 to 11. So with this you see up here begins. Not sure if that word's okay on good old YouTube. In one city after the other, they murder and slaughter until no one is left. In a few cases, the only exception was a few virgins they kidnapped. You then wonder, why? It would be naive to claim that it wasn't for sexual services. And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, which came from the battle. And Moses says unto them, Have you saved all the women alive? Now, therefore, kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that hath known man by lying with him. But all the women, children, he's talking little girls here, that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. Well, sounds like a mass human sacrifice for the Lord to me. People who regard themselves as Christians like to suggest that the victims would be evil people who lived in sin and don't want to understand how they, in this way, betrays Jesus' teachings. There can be no worse sin than to kill in the name of God or of his messenger Christ. So if one kills in the name of Yahweh or by his order, this shows that he cannot be the true God. Jesus taught us that who takes to the sword will be undone by the sword, and even to love our own enemies. Does Yahweh demonstrate his fake divinity when he rages in Leviticus 26, verses 21 to 29? And if ye walk contrary unto me, and will not unhearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. I will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children and destroy your cattle, and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate. And when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven, and they shall deliver you your bread again by weight, and ye shall eat and not be satisfied. If ye will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you also in fury, and I, even I, will chastise you. I don't know about you, but he doesn't sound like the Father Jesus always spoke of. I used to believe what L.A. Marzulli speaks of in regard to the fallen angels and their so-called children, the Nephilim. But once looking at the translations for God as being Elohim, which really is deities or gods, that made his theory not line up anymore for me. Also, remember he's killing everyone, he being Yahweh, which includes babies, yet keeping female children, virgins, for I don't even want to know. This sounds like the one the elite serves to me. So let's entertain the idea the Elohim could be the Sumerian text called the Anunnaki. Just humor me here for a moment. The Sumerian texts tell about a planet called Nibiru, or Nibiru, however you pronounce it. That, like a comet, it moves in a long-stretched elliptic orbit with a revolution period of about 3,600 years. You may have heard of it called as Planet X. And the planet is the home of the Anunnaki. Hence, the planet during more than 3,000 years is so far away from the sun that everything must be frozen there. I mean, how could anybody live there, right? I mean, this is how my mind thinks. Well, that could give credit to the theory that they are multidimensional beings. A lot that I find on them shows them to be likely of reptilian nature. I've read that they were 5-dimensional, but when visiting Earth, they were 3-dimensional, like humans. It's even believed that they influence us invisibly from the other dimensions and want to control how things are going on our planet and manipulate us their way, whether it's in politics, in a controlled science, like leaving out things they don't want us to know. That would include the Bible as well. And in business, they of course need life energy, and we are their cattle. Moo. Sorry, I had to. We are like batteries, keeping them charged. They do this without us being conscious of it. They do not want us to know what is going on. Why do they do this? Well, maybe because they have separated themselves from the source. I mean, the universe, the creator of all, the one true God, the Father Jesus spoke of. I guess that would make them the fallen ones. So, in a way, L.A. Marzulli is on something there. Just not completely the same way I'm thinking. So naturally, they lost their connection to the divine. These fallen ones love brutality, fight, war, violence, bloodshed, and violent death. Why? When someone dies violently, their body is normally still full of life energy, so basically his batteries are charged. They feed off of the negative energy, such as fear. So back to the creation story in Genesis, which interestingly enough looks like genetics to me. You know, the word gene. If they are the Elohim, it is they who created our physical bodies. I'm not talking about our soul, spirit, essence that dwells within. I'm only speaking of our flesh. Our spirit is connected with the Father Jesus speaks of. We were told in Genesis that man was made in our image, in our likeness. This shows there was man here already, and the genetics were manipulated. Maybe the hominid? It also says to replenish the earth when speaking to their new creation. So that means the earth was already there. Was there some disaster that happened that it needed to be replenished? And when creating this avatar, this shell, this meat suit, this body, whatever you want to call it, through genetic manipulation, they put aggressiveness, obedience to superiors, and easily feeling fear in our genetic code so that we conform to them. They seem to enjoy animating us to violence and war, like when a child plays war games with a computer. To have a fear, especially the fear of death, is an effective way to manipulate us. When we feel rage and hatred and aggressions, we unconsciously also set life energies free, and we do the same when we have a strong sense of fear. Obedience makes us more easily manipulated to do things we really don't want to do. So, if Yahweh and the Elohim are Anunnaki, and I don't know this for sure, this is just from gathering information, then who is Yahweh? Well, he could be Enlil. He could be Marduk. What if he was both? So, according to Sumerian texts, Enlil was the god of the air. He brought on the deluge, because man procreated too much. Seriously? Does this sound familiar? Guidestones? Elite? Anyway, Enki, his brother, he felt bad for mankind and was the one to tell Gilgamesh, aka Noah, to build an ark. Now, I don't think he is a good guy. I call him the trickster god. I don't trust him. Plus, seriously, these guys aren't gods. So, Anu is the head of the Anunnaki, or was. Enlil and Enki are brothers. They have different mothers, although Enki is older. Enlil's mother is legitimate, so it makes Enlil higher ranking. Enlil was later replaced by Marduk, who, by the way, is Enki's son. There's a much bigger story here, but it's not the point of this video. Maybe a future one. I don't know. I don't want to give too much of the spotlight to these false deities. The point is that we need to have the eyes to see, so we are not deceived. If things can be manipulated, that would include the Bible, whether you want to hear it or not. As one of my favorite channels, Jacob Israel, says, ask for the truth no matter the cost. I know my Father, and Yahweh is not him. So going back to the Canaanite pantheon, El, that's El, the chief deity, gives each of the gods, Elohim, authority over a segment of people of earth, and Yahweh is assigned to the Israelites, who in time will make him their supreme and only deity. But it is clear he existed beforehand as a lesser Canaanite god. So the Masoretic text, Deuteronomy 32 verses 8 to 9, when the Most High, El, gave to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of men, he fixed the bounds of the peoples according to the number of the sons of God. For Yahweh's portion is his people, Jacob his allotted heritage. Zechariah 6 verses 1 to 6 says, the dwelling of God of Israel is symbolized by two mountains of copper. Interesting, since Yahweh is the god of metallurgy. And Ezekiel 40 verse 3, in his prophecies, Ezekiel describes a divine being as a man was there whose appearance shone like copper. And as another part of this book, Yahweh is even explicitly mentioned as being a smelter. Ezekiel 22 verse 20. In Isaiah 54 verse 16, Yahweh is explicitly mentioned as the creator of both copper worker and his work. Such an involvement of Yahweh is never mentioned elsewhere for other crafts or human activities. So in my different research and studies, I came across a man named Amsalag who compares the attributes of the Egyptian Ta and the Mesopotamian E, also known as Enki, along with Napir of Elam, all gods of metallurgy, among their other attributes with Yahweh, and finds striking similarities. I also want to note that the Anunnaki, according to Zechariah Stitchin, and I don't agree with everything that he talks about, but I do think the man is on to something. But he talks about them coming here to mine for gold. So the whole metallurgy thing is like, wow, you know? So this guy further claims that the name of the god of the Edomites is an epithet for Yahweh, and notes how the Edomites, a people closely associated with metallurgy, were the primary workers and administrators of the copper mines at Timnah. And further, the Edomites is never mentioned in the Bible as challenging Israel in the name of a foreign god, thus suggesting that the two peoples worship the same deity. So what did Jesus think of the Elohim? John 10, verse 8, In the American Standard says, "All that came before me are thieves and robbers, but the flock did not hear them." John 10, verse 10, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came so that they would have life and have it abundantly." I think Jesus was trying to warn us or wake us up to what was going on. Steal, kill, and destroy? It sounds like what the Anunnaki did to me, also known as the Elohim, in my opinion. Did Jesus believe Yahweh was God? Matthew 7, verses 11 says, "So if you, despite being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good things to those who ask him?" Jesus says right here that we should go to the source, our Father in heaven, for what we need. He is not like the wicked father who would give serpents to children hungry and asking for food, like he says in verse 10. When the Israelites came to Moses for food, and this is what he's referencing, Yahweh brought them fiery serpents. That's in Numbers 21, verse 6. Jesus basically saying, what kind of father gives you a snake when you ask for food? God is not the Elohim. It is not Yahweh. God is the source of the cosmos and everything in it, whatever you want to refer to him as. The universe, source, the force. It's very likely that Yahweh was originally Enlil, like I had said, and then later taken over by Marduk. So if the Bible really has been manipulated, then who is God really, and who are we? Why are they keeping the truth from us? If we go by the Sumerian stories of the Anunnaki, we were created as a slave race. Go back to the whole cow moo. I know, I'm so stupid. Enlil did not want us to be like them fully, but Enki felt differently. Enlil refers to Enki as a snake, just as Satan is depicted in the garden. The tree of life is genetics, and if you look at our spine and the nerves in it, it looks like the tree of life. We have energy points in our body that connects us to the true creator of our soul, also known as chakras. I know, Danielle, you're getting all woo-hoo here, but I think there's a lot of truth if you look at everything, and you can pick it apart and find all the diamonds in the rough. See, if we really knew who we are, they would lose their power over us. Jesus even said, referring to Psalm 82:6, "Has it not been written in your law, I said, you are gods?" So what Psalm 82 verse 6 says, you are gods. You are all sons of the Most High, children of the Most High. So this concludes this video. Be sure to look out for more videos in regards to this topic. I'm curious to see what you guys think, so leave a comment below. Try to be nice to me, please. I know this is like some really difficult stuff to take in. And again, don't take my word for it. Go and research yourself. Look at the translations and see what resonates with you. Pray, most importantly, so that he can guide you in all of it. Well, I love you guys. I thank you so much for sticking by and checking this out. If you liked the video, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed and you definitely want to subscribe, then go ahead and click on the subscribe button, and then make sure that you click on the bell so that way you're notified for more videos. All right, peace out.